Hey, so I have been using this retractable hose from Vego Gardening for over a year now, and it's time to see how it's held up. I will say some parts of it have failed that I have been a little disappointed in, and some parts of it have absolutely not failed, and that has surprised me to no end, if I'm being honest, because the parts that I thought would fail have actually stayed exactly the same, are still operating perfectly even after an entire year of use. So right off the bat, let's start off with the one thing that I thought would fail that actually has not failed, which is the retraction on this thing. It just goes. It's pretty strong, and honestly, if you don't hold on to it, it'll take it away from you once it starts reeling. This is the biggest failure point, I think, on retractable hose reels, and I have had absolutely zero issues with it the whole time that I've had this hose. So something else that I really do like about this hose is how long it is. This is just a small bit of it here. It easily reaches to my garden, and it also will reach all the way to the other side of the house when I want it to. And then when I'm done with it, I just got to give it a little tug and it just rolls itself all the way up for me. No big deal at all. Look at it go. There we are. And then let's look at the attachment point here. So I have mine screwed into a brick wall, and it actually came with the hardware for that. And as I'm taking a quick look at it, it looks absolutely just as good as it did the day that I put it in. It doesn't show any signs of wanting to rip out of the brick or anything like that, even though this is actually a pretty heavy thing. The swivel on that stand also works as intended. It is still smooth as butter, and it's just doing its job. It's holding up. The material of the hose itself, it is a really high quality rubber, and while I will say I haven't been leaving it out in the garden in the sun most of this year, this part of it beyond the ball is always hanging out of the reel housing, and this doesn't show any wear different from the stuff that's constantly shaded and underneath the housing. So this is going to be probably a very, very durable thing. Now, moving on to things that are not holding up so well. First, you can see here, this leak has been there, honestly, most of the time that I've had this hose. This is pressurized right now, obviously, because the water is on, but it is being stopped right here by this fitting. And the plastic bits on this hose, I will say, could have held up a lot better. I think what I'm going to end up doing is getting metal replacements for pieces like this. And initially, I did really enjoy the way that this worked. This is actually, so this is a quick release for the, I'll show you, is a quick release for the nozzle here, and you would pull this back, stick this in, and then it would lock on. You can maybe see that there's a bit of broken plastic in there now, and this is broken off. And this is actually, so I can unscrew this from in here. The handle itself, the sprayer nozzle itself, is not broken, but I would need to get a new piece from Vego to fix this little bit of brittle broken plastic. And I will also say that my first sprayer head did actually break in the sprayer head part. So you can see, is it this side? Or yeah, so this side, this actually just cracked off. And so now this little thing doesn't really work anymore, and it sprays water out of that side. And that is really unfortunate. Vego did replace it for me as soon as I let them know what had happened though. So I think that's pretty nice. And to be fair to Vego, I have not run into a nozzle thing that actually lasts for more than a year reliably. These things, anything made out of this plastic, I just had them fail over and over and over again, no matter what brand I get, no matter how much of it is made out of metal. Honestly, if you guys have suggestions on what sprayer nozzle to get, let me know in the comments, because I am in the market for one of these, unfortunately. So I almost forgot about this because it is in a box. I didn't end up using it, but there's one more fitting that the hose came with. It is this one, and this one actually is made of metal instead of plastic in some places. So maybe if I had used it, theoretically, it would be lasting longer, but it also does have the little easy change out click thing that you can attach to the hose. And so it is another potential option for a nozzle, even after, or when the plastic ones eventually fail. All right, so let's recap. Things that I like about it. The retractable part, it still works. And honestly, that's the whole reason that you would buy something like this, right? Is because it is retractable. Like, it's a retractable hose. That's the point of it. It is still working. It is honestly in top condition after an entire year. And I promise I use this thing like almost every single day. It gets a lot of use. So definitely that part has stood the test of time. However, as we saw, the fittings are leaving a little bit to be desired. Unfortunately, the cracking of the plastic, like if it just happened once, maybe it's like my bad or something, but the fact that I have 2 pieces now that have cracked and also one of them that's been leaking pretty much the entire time, I am not super happy with that. I think Vego needs to work on making some more durable fittings to go with their hose. But if I was to do it all over again, would I spend money on this? And I still think the answer would be yes, because like I said, the parts that need to work, that make it a retractable hose, those things are still working. The hose is in great condition, the retraction is still in excellent condition. And so I would just plan to buy, if you're gonna get this, some like sturdier fittings to go with it, or plan that you will eventually have to buy sturdier fittings to go with it, because for like almost the entire first year, like it was just a month ago that second crack happened. They did work for a good long while, so they might get you through an entire season before you have to buy another fitting. But I definitely would just keep in mind that if you do get this, you are eventually at some point going to need to buy new fittings for it. So any of you who watched the original video when I got this hose will know that I did not originally post an affiliate link for this. I don't like to do that until I've had like enough time to really test the product and feel comfortable recommending it to you. And now that I've had this for an entire year, I do feel like, okay, yes, I can recommend it to you. I know which parts are gonna work and which parts aren't, and I feel like I'm leaving you fully informed to make a really good decision. So I am going to leave my affiliate link below for you to go ahead and grab that. If you are going to grab it, I would really appreciate if you use my link, because that is going to help support my channel, help support the work that I do here as far as giving you guys really honest reviews of the stuff that these companies are trying to sell. So that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy gardening.